a lot of people have probably seen bits and pieces of whatever highlights of Michigan, highlights of Ohio State games this year. But unless you're an actual fan of either one of those teams, might not have tuned into a ton of them. So I'm going to actually borrow a segment from your now award-winning podcast here and do a keys to the game with you. But instead of a sit start, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some options here, some positions, and you are going to say who has the advantage in that category, whether it's
All right.
Michigan or Ohio State. So I'm going to have to get you to take your Homer hat off just for a minute and look at it objectively and see what we can do here. So we're going to see who has the advantage in each of the following categories. So let's start at quarterback. Who do you give the advantage to here?
This is a no-brainer. Ohio State. I mean, CJ Stroud, again, he's my Heisman favorite. I can't say it's Cade McNamara. So Ohio State, hands down, has the better quarterback situation.
All right. So we got one for Ohio State. Look at that. You being objective here. All right.
I try to be as neutral as possible, especially given the fact that I'm on your show. I have to be, very liberal, mind my P's and Q's, and be as, democratic as I can.
All right, let's go to wide receivers. Who gets the nod here between your Wolverines and the Buckeyes?
So this is actually closer than it looks like on paper, because on paper, you'd look at Ohio State's passing offense, you'd say, well, it's Ohio State for sure. They've got those three guys who run in the 4-3s. But the thing that Michigan actually does very well is they've got about 6 receivers that they can roll out, and they're very deep. They've got youth, they've got experience, they've got big bodies, they've got fast players. It's not that, not that big of a gap. It's very razor thin. But again, putting my neutral hat on, I have to go with the Ohio State side.
Buckeyes are up 2-0 right now. I'm keeping score. All right, running back position.
Not even close. This is Michigan all the way. I believe they have the 3 best running backs in the game.
There you go. All right. Going back to your days as an O lineman here,
yes.
The big boys in the trenches. Who is winning that battle there?
Again, this one is super close because both units are absolutely fantastic. They're great at run blocking. They're terrific pass blockers. But when you look at how a game is affected by an offensive line, it's who controls the ball, who controls the line of scrimmage. And Michigan's offensive line has shown that they can lead their offense to a win. That's very rare. Rarely do you see an offensive line that can take control and lead a team to a win in college football. And they've been extremely efficient this year. They don't get a lot of penalties. They do a very good job. Ohio State's got a good group too, but I got to give the nod to Michigan there. So the power run game with the running backs and offensive line, that bodes well for Michigan.
Oh, there we go. The Wolverines are back in it. We're knotted at 2 here. All right, going to the defensive side of the football. I think I know where you're going with this one already, but D-line, who gets the advantage here?
This one is Michigan all the way. You've got 2 of the top, 10 pass rushers in the country on one D-line. And again, like I said, with Aiden Hutchinson, he's going to be an award winner of some kind at the end of the year, whether that be the Nagurski, whether that be the Outland Trophy. He's going to win an award because he's that much of an impact player. When you watch a Michigan game, he is in on every single play. And as a defensive end, that's very hard to do. And then, again, they've got a very, very good interior defensive line. And then they got Ojabo on the other side, David Ojabo. Ojabo's come out of nowhere, and he's really taken the reins and become that, Kwity Paye type, energy guy off the other side. So this one's Michigan going away.
All right. Wolverines take the lead. The secondary, so safeties and corners, who's getting the advantage here?
Again, it's difficult to really say because, teams will play differently based on, so Ohio State is going to give up more yards through the air because they're always playing from behind against them. Whereas Michigan, you see some games that are kind of back and forth. So you look at past, you look at present, you look at, the entire ball of wax when it comes to how effective a secondary's been. Again, this one, if I had to break it down, it's razor thin, but I have to give the edge to Ohio State as a unit. Now, that's not to say that Michigan doesn't have a very good secondary, because they do. And Daxton Hill, again, if you haven't watched Michigan play this year, he's as exciting a player as you're going to see. He plays safety, he plays inside corner, he plays outside corner, he jumps in the box, he plays linebacker. He's unbelievable. But as a group, and as the history books have shown us, Ohio State's secondary has a tradition of excellence, and they are very, very good once again. So just by a razor thin margin, got to go with the Buckeyes.
All right. So that makes it 3-3. As most sports do, we're going to the seventh and deciding factor here. And I cannot wait for you to have to agonize over this here. We're going to go coaching. So who gets the advantage?
So we're not even going with
Harbaugh
linebackers
and
or special teams.
No,
Okay.
no. There's only 7 that I can cram in here. So we got to get the head coaches.
Okay. Well, as a head coach, honestly, as a head coach, I gotta say that Harbaugh probably has more of an impact on every single unit that's at play with Ohio State. I think Ryan Day is one of the most overrated coaches in college football, not because I'm saying it to be biased. I just think that he inherited everything that Urban Meyer built. He has the entire same staff that Urban Meyer had when he was at Ohio State. And when you look at what happened to Ohio State the last couple of years, when they've been in these, the national semifinals 2 years ago, the national championship last year, the thing that killed them was coaching. And, the one thing I can't stand is a whiner, especially when a coach comes out and no one whines like Ryan Day. That guy is the biggest complainer about everything. So tiebreaker, I'm going with the weirdo at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh. Hopefully he can, turn the tide and come away with the victory.
Oh my Lord. I never thought I would see the day where you would give the tie-breaking critical factor to Michigan's overall victory lies in the hands of Jim Harbaugh. So there you go. 4-3, Michigan.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I'm blown away. I don't know what to say. I guess it's just, Ryan Day, the knockoff version of Robert Downey Jr. Like, it kind of looks like RDJ that you would get off wish.com or something. It doesn't look quite like the picture there. So he was the factor. So tilted it to the Wolverines. Look at that.
Yeah. So again, it's going to be a good game. And had you gone with special teams and linebackers as well, I give the edge to Ohio State with linebackers and Michigan with special teams. So they'd still come out on top anyway.
There you go. We would have needed the 9th game anyway. So there you go.